Signs of Tradition and Wonders of Experience, a devotional for the seasons of Advent, Christmas, and Epiphany, produced by Northside Church. Wednesday, December 11th. Our scripture passages today come from Exodus chapter 1, verse 22, and Matthew chapter 2, verse 16.
Then Pharaoh gave this order to all his people: "Every Hebrew boy that is born you must throw into the Nile, but let every girl live." Herod gave orders to kill all the boys in Bethlehem and its vicinity who were 2 years old and under.
Pharaoh's plan backfired. He had tried to get the Hebrew midwives to turn on their own people and kill all baby boys born among their people, but instead,
God was kind to the midwives, and the people increased and became even more numerous.
Exodus chapter 1, verse 20. Pharaoh's fear had led to nothing but frustration and the exact opposite of what he had wanted. The descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were becoming more and more numerous, no matter how harsh and bitter he made their lives through oppression and slavery. One might think that he would stop to consider his actions at this point. Enslaving the Israelites didn't work, and perhaps infanticide was a step too far. It seems, though, that Pharaoh's delusional determination knew no bounds. Since the Hebrew midwives were not going to do his dirty work for him, Pharaoh decided to employ all the Egyptians in his insanely evil scheme. If you see a baby Hebrew boy, take him from his mother and throw him in the river. I can't imagine how twisted a mind must become to give such an order, but it appears to be consistent with one that is consumed by the experience of extreme fear and paranoia, because Pharaoh is not the only ruler to give such an order in the Bible. Shortly after Jesus was born in Bethlehem, King Herod
gave orders to kill all the boys in Bethlehem and its vicinity who were 2 years old and under.
Matthew chapter 2, verse 16. Like Pharaoh, Herod was obsessed with ending any threat to his experience of power, even if that perceived threat was something new God was doing among his people, and even if eliminating it meant the atrocious act of killing innocent children. Thinking about such things is not something we like to do during this time of year, even though it is part of our tradition to do so. And I believe it's an important tradition to keep, as it reminds us that not everyone receives the new experience of God's work as a sign of peace and joy, especially those in positions of power that feel threatened by such experiences. This was true in Moses' time. It was true in the time of Jesus. It's true today. The challenge for us is not to be so consumed with fear and paranoia that we too are threatened by a new experience of God's work among us. We may not react by killing children, but responding with anything less than the fear of God the Hebrew midwives displayed could put us on the precarious position of missing out on what God is doing in our midst. What new experience of God around us is making you feel uncomfortable? What can we do as a church to embrace what new thing God is doing in our community and world?